So that kind of brings me into the developing what your reasonable expectations are for your own fitness related to what your goals are. I like to know somebody can do, 20 push-ups without stopping that are proper, right? I don't want to see little chicken neck stuff like, we used to ding people for when we did the APFT gradings, the Army Personal Fitness Test. Um, I don't want to see like little, just moving the elbows. I don't know if you saw the recent person that was, they had the push-up record, and they're only moving about 2 inches per push-up, but they got 6,000 of those in a day. I don't know what those are called, but I wouldn't call it a push-up. Um,
Yeah, I don't even know how those
so
are effective.
it was a record. I guess if that's the standard they want to set, then you can be real proud of doing 6,000s of whatever that was. But none of the drill sergeants I came up with would have been okay with that. You would have just been there all day and night until you got it right, and then they'd start counting. They might have had some encouraging words in the meantime, but being able to run or fast walk 2 miles at a 17-minute mile an hour pace. That's a little bit slower than a jog. It's a fast walk, right? And these are just basic things that you establish, and then you can start adding weight. Okay, let's put a ruck on my back. You know, we both live in Florida. The heat is a huge deal.
Yeah.
I work on, in my day job, I work with quite a few athletes in tennis and baseball. The coaches are always ecstatic when they can get teams down here from up north because they're not heat acclimated. And the Florida Heat will do more to win the Florida team that game than any technique that they have. They're like, yeah, you just make it so he has to work for the first half of whatever our game is. And then in the next half, once he's gassed and you start seeing flush or, really excited if he stops sweating because that's when heat stroke is close.
Yeah.
Right? Start freaking drilling him. And it's like, oh, that's dirty. And they're like, yeah, but it's so effective. And our guys feel really great about it because they've got this conditioning. It sucks to be out here in the heat, but I can promise like 100% win if we can get somewhere from, New Hampshire to come down here, So, and then like push-ups, the runs, the squats, being able to do 40 body weight squats correctly without stopping is a huge deal. And you can build these up as smaller sets throughout the day. If you're going to test yourself on that 40 number, maybe you need to do 10 sets of 8 throughout the day. And then the last one, and this is the one that I've seen in prepping. If you look at a group of preppers at a lot of these meetings, you're going to see a lot of people that are not actively fit. And when you start talking to them, you're going to hear about a lot of health issues.
Yep.
I'm not delusional enough to say, oh, if you're not a PT stud, you're going to die the minute the apocalypse hits. What I will say is you need to be aware of what your physical limitations are and have a realistic and tested plan to make it around that. One of my dear friends when I started prepping had COPD.